Cybersecurity Divas, Cybersecurity Divas, Cybersecurity Divas. Who are those ladies walking on the stage? Cybersecurity Divas. Who you see them passing, make sure you wave. Cybersecurity Divas. Who are those ladies about their game? Cybersecurity Divas. When they talk about the issues, make sure you behave. Cybersecurity Divas. Listen up closely to what I'm saying. They'll break it down to you and they're not playing. With no obscurity or even hazing, I'm gonna tell you these ladies ain't faking. Cybersecurity Divas. Cybersecurity Divas. Cybersecurity Divas. Cybersecurity Divas. On the next chapter to pave the way. Cybersecurity Divas. Who those ladies give you knowledge to say? Cybersecurity Divas. When they talk about people, policy, technology, make sure you engage and have a thought to be a Cybersecurity Divas. Cybersecurity Divas. Cybersecurity Divas.
Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Welcome, and thank you for joining us for the Cybersecurity Divas Global Tour 2020. I'm your host, Dr. Mansur Hasib. That CyberRap was composed by award-winning cyber rapper Tomiko Evans, who made history last year by becoming the first person to ever open a cybersecurity presentation with a CyberRap. She dared to bring her inner greatness out and show it to the world. Greatness is a choice, and it begins with embracing yourself first. Your unique gift that is already inside you. Recognize it, refine it, and present it to the world. We are all unique. There is no one else in the world like us. So why not start from there? Society expects us to conform, to be average. But being average is no fun, especially if you can be great. The Cybersecurity Divas will show you how to have fun while becoming great in this amazing field. The Cybersecurity Divas all understand the key principles of this particular cybersecurity model, that our goals are confidentiality, integrity, and availability, and we use people, policy, and technology to achieve our goals. However, we must focus on the mission of the organization, because no two organizations will ever have the same cybersecurity strategy. We must also optimize risk, and we must have a governance framework. Finally, we must improve perpetually, and that is why you see that timeline in this model. Because cybersecurity is a process of perpetual innovation. And that is why people and leadership are the most important aspects of cybersecurity, because innovation is done by people. Your brain is an unbelievable fountain of innovation. I shared this model in my book, Cybersecurity Leadership, and I also shared this holistic definition of cybersecurity, which is derived from this model, which is that cybersecurity is the mission-focused and risk-optimized governance of information which maximizes confidentiality, integrity, and availability using a balanced mix of people, policy, and technology while perennially improving over time. Our goal here today is to teach you how to make conference presentations fun in any discipline. Katoria Henry will combine her passion for sports with cybersecurity. And then this year's global award winner, Katia Dean, will use humor and comics. Elena Healing will combine math with leadership. Anye Biamby will use animation to discuss policy. Naalpahtu Toure will use gamification. And Tomiko Evans will use spoken words and CyberRap. And now it is my pleasure to bring to you Katoria Henry.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hasib, for that warm welcome. So everyone, listen, we are about to rock your night, okay? Buckle up. It's about to get serious up in here. You know, with me, I always kind of like to, I guess you could say, make things super fun. So let's see how fun I can get this going for us tonight. As Dr. Hasib mentioned, you know, we've been doing this for quite some time, and he's a great mentor. I am Katoria Henry, and I am currently a security DRC manager with Salesforce. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. I know, I'm thinking it too. I don't know how my Celtics are losing right now to the Bucks, but that's okay. We'll get on that later. Today, it's all about getting you ready for the game. Put me in, coach. That's how we're gonna title this thing right now. Put me in the game. For all of those that are trying to transition internally to a cybersecurity position, I know you want it. Now you have to show them how bad they need you in that role. I'm gonna give you 4 tactics that are definitely gonna help you out. This is your self-assessment playbook. Come along with me for this ride. You're gonna love it. I know you are. So the first thing you always wanna do, whenever you're trying to bring yourself up to par and you know you want that role, you don't really know where to start, you're gonna conduct a self-assessment, okay? You're in control of this possession, okay? The key here is to highlight your key cybersecurity skills that you've learned while you're doing all of this stuff outside of your normal role. What I always recommend is that people take the time to look at some of the internal policies that you have going on, figure out what you could fix or what you could change or what the organization could improve upon. By doing that, you could definitely take a look at some of the NIST special publications, what FedRAMP has in place for cloud security or PCI DSS, you know, when it comes to protecting that payment card data. All of this is going to be good stuff that you can compile, and it's going to be your little project bin that you can show the admins or the hiring manager that you are ready to be put in the game. You have the skills, okay? You're going to write a brief narrative about everything that you've done. It's just summarizing everything that you've really accomplished up until this point, okay? You're in control of this possession. Make sure you put that stuff on your resume too. You definitely have to stand out from the crowd. The next thing I would definitely recommend, now some people may not want to do this, but you have to do it, okay? This is the opposing team stats. Right here, you're going to show leadership what you've accomplished compared to those that are already, you know, within that role. If you look at what I have right here, it's just something that I came up with. You have 3 different security projects, okay? You have 4 cyber professionals, with yourself being the 4th one they just don't know. that you're a cyber professional. But here's how you're going to do it. You're going to give them concrete metrics about what you've been doing, what you've accomplished, so that they can see the value that you're really bringing to the team, okay? Provide really detailed examples about these projects. Sometimes you may take on a lot of ad hoc work, but how would they know if you don't actually title all of that stuff up, bundle it up, send something over and say, hey, so I did XYZ, although it's not within my role, but here's what I've done, and oh, by the way, I've done it a little bit better than that person that's already on the team. The opposing team stats. You have to make yourself look good right here. Next thing I would definitely recommend, you have to speak highly about yourself. Individual game stats. Let's say you're a technical support specialist, tier 3. Don't ask me why I chose that. It's just something that I always see in job recs. I know, you're laughing, it's okay. Look, right here, you're just gonna compare everything that you've done thus far. Always include the ad hoc work. A lot of people, sometimes they kind of leave that out of the bucket. Whenever they're trying to present themselves to upper management, you have to show them what you've accomplished over a set period of time so that they understand what you really can contribute. You definitely want to do this. You're demonstrating right here that you're a team player, but at the end of the day, it's all about organizational success. Who wouldn't want you on their team? I would. It's okay. Look, you see the coach is leaning back. He's like, whatever, we already have who we need. No, that's not it. You tell him, coach, I'm ready. This is your time to deliver that elevator pitch. When I say elevator pitch, you have to speak so highly on yourself. It's okay. Trust me. I do it all the time. It's nothing wrong with boasting. It's perfectly fine. You have my permission to do so. I promise, okay? Right here, don't shy away. You're going to give them everything. They already have the statistics. Now what you have to do, just lean in a little bit and say, coach, I'm ready. This is your elevator pitch. This is your chance. He knows it. You know it. Get off the bench, man. Let's go. It's game time. Last but not least, always remember this. Take this away from this presentation. If you don't remember anything that I said, remember these 3 things that I'm about to show you right now. You're in full control of this playbook. Believe in yourself. It's time to score the winning basket. Now, who wants to challenge me for this? Let's get it. Listen, references for those that want to refer back to anything that I've mentioned. There's definitely more information where this comes from. In case you want to personally ping me, feel free to connect with me. I love meeting new people. Some of my information is right here for you guys. Listen. It's all about the winning basket at the end of the day. Put me in, coach. You got this. Now, if you thought that was good, we got some special comic relief coming for you, okay? So get ready, buckle up, put on your seatbelt, anything that you need to stay on this roller coaster. Miss Katia Dean is about to bring it to you, full force.
Well, Katoria, you just did such a wonderful job. Y'all, normally she'll be on the court dribbling the ball and whatnot. But right now, we got to do this virtually. So I'm going to show you all how to do cybersecurity in a comic way with my comic relief for you all. So stay tuned. Today, we're going to discuss the cybersecurity workforce development from a job candidate's point of view. So I was sitting at my desk and I'm like, oh, I just graduated and I gotta look for me a new position, but there's so many options, I don't even know where to start. So to clear my mind, I had to go outside, get some fresh air, clear my thoughts. And I'm like, you know what? I have 5 years of experience, 2 degrees, so this should be a piece of cake, right? And for my wonderful presentation I used today, you all, I actually used the tool that's called PixTime to do these wonderful comics for you all. And I made sure that I honed in on the facial expressions so y'all could get the vibe that I'm giving to y'all during my presentation. So I have my 5 years experience. And I'm like, this just gonna be a piece of cake. Like I really should have no problems. I go back to my apartment. I'm all like, all right, you know, I got to get out there. I got to go on a computer. I got to do some job searching. But then I started job searching, and I looked at these requirements, and they was all questionable. So some of the requirements I would run into, and I would talk to the recruiters. They would say, well, you know, Katia, your resume looks great, but you know, if you had that certification, you really could get in a cybersecurity role. And during this time, I said, well, you know, I'm in cybersecurity. I'm actually on the non-technical side of cybersecurity. And most of the roles that I actually have, I honestly would not use the certification that you all are saying that I need to use. So during my job search, I said, hey, I need to, you know, coach some of these people along the way. So I had to, you know, go back outside and get some more fresh air to clear my thoughts to figure out, you know, what kind of improvements can we make for the job seekers, the recruiters, and the companies? Because I'm just like, stuff just needs to change. Like, this just makes no sense. So then I sat down, you know, by my fireplace with my hot cocoa in my hand, and I had this great idea. And I said, here's some suggestions to help you all with this problem. My suggestions for some improvement is that it's a group effort. So recruiters, hiring managers, and a person that actually filled that role, everyone needs to sit down and actually get the correct requirements for that particular role that they're trying to fill. Another thing is that recruiters also need to be trained on the different areas within cybersecurity using the NIST 800-181 cybersecurity workforce document that is out there for public view and reference. And then also, as always, as we see, to actually really revamp the job descriptions to realistic requirements, and we could fill this so-called skills gap. But that's a different story. We're not going to get into that. So I hope you all was entertained by my comical relief and my presentation. And to contact me for any cybersecurity workforce development projects or cybersecurity technical resume writing services and career development, you can catch me on my LinkedIn, my website. Also check out my ebook. You can also email me as well. And for you smart people out there, I'm going to pass it on over to Elena so she could show us these wonderful math smarts that she have to talk about cybersecurity.
Well, thank you so much, Katia. And I want to say, Katoria and Katia, your presentations were phenomenal, okay? So yes, I'm gonna think, yeah, amazing. I'm gonna go ahead. Today, we're gonna be talking about math and cybersecurity. So I found two quotes online that were spoken by an NPR host, and I just thought they told everything about math, okay, when it comes to cybersecurity. Without math, there would be no internet, but just as important, without mathematics, there'd be no internet security. Did you all know that? So I want to talk about a few things that you might have heard of, you know, maybe when you were in trigonometry, geometry, or maybe you were math majors. And, you know, some of these concepts familiar, but overall, the main concepts that are used for cybersecurity are cryptography, encryption algorithms, risk calculations, and statistical approaches to anomaly-based intrusions. Now that all might seem confusing, but I'm about to show you how this works. So back in the day, many, many years ago, before there was any computers, but you know, folks had to get some secret messages to each other. One of the early types of cryptographic puzzles or methods of communication was called the Caesar cipher. So here you can see there's just the word hello and a key. The key in this case was one number, okay? And so I'm gonna just real quick play a little snippet for you.
Be this.
So as you see right there, it's like a slot machine with one single spin of a number. And it gets to encrypt your code with just a single algorithm, a very simple trend, okay? So how does it get more complicated? What happened along the years? And what I want you all to think about too is, in the future, how do you make this even better? How do we improve this? How do we make this more complex so that people cannot hack different systems and organizations? So any encryption algorithm is based on prime numbers, multiplication, and division, typically. But those are very simple concepts, really. To make it tough for them to break in, and we'll go through another video in a second, if we take these 3 points together and we make such a large number that the product of the prime factors is so great that makes computers impossible. They can't even think. I mean, hey, who's ever stumped a computer with a calculation? Well, that's what the point of encryption and cryptography is. So I'm gonna play something for you real quick.
Encrypted using 256-bit keys. That means a bad guy's computer that intercepts your message would need to try this many possible options until they discover the key and crack the message.
Okay there. So I dare someone to try to say that number. I can't even tell you. It's a trillions of trillions of trillions, cajillions, really, okay? So let's see how that applies as well. Okay. So what we have here is an example of an online encryption algorithm search or entry. And what I'm about to show you is, here we have an online hash calculator. You can see that in this case, and this is a simple way to show you how this works. So you can put anything in the world in. You can put any alphanumeric text, so numbers, words, as long as you want, as short as you want, and choose the algorithm. That's already pre-built in. So I decided to put in here, hello, and thank you for watching my presentation, okay? And then, after I put that in right here, you can see I can choose any algorithm, existing algorithm that I want. I chose the first one, MD2. So let's see what happens. There we go. The result is an alphanumeric group of numbers and letters. And notice that, I want you to know something. If I had just written the word hello, the length of this hash would have been exactly the same. If I had written 10 paragraphs, it would have been exactly the same. That's the key to this algorithm. There's no telling from the length or the content of your message what the key or the hash will be. So this was, I thought, really cool. And let me just give you some information about that MD hash we just saw. So like I said, why are there so many of these? Why can't we just use the first one that was ever made? Well, you can see that the MD2 hash I just showed you, the underlying compression function has a complexity of 2 to the 73rd power. Well, we know that it can be attacked with a complexity of 2 to the 104th power. So this is like a math proof that they found. And so really, a lot of computers are now, given the prime numbers these days, are able to break it. And so it does not reach the ideal security level here of 2 to the 128 power. So even though these are, you know, exponents and numbers, you can see that really we need something higher than this to at least not be able to broken by any type of decoder or anything like that. So again, as I said earlier, I want you all to think about finding a number that is so big that I can't even fit it on this screen, okay? So, and that's how we discover the largest prime number. That has to do a lot with cryptocurrency, if you've heard of Bitcoin, and many other ways that we have security, underlying security in places. So I want to thank you all for listening. If you want to LinkedIn or email me if you have any questions. And most important, I want to help you all to help me in welcoming Anye Biamby as our next presenter. So thank you so much.
Hello. Hi, everyone. I'm Anye Biamby, and today we'll be discussing access control. this is the agenda for today's presentation. And we just heard from Katoria, Katia, and Elena, and, they describe about, putting yourself out there to get a job, and after getting, after doing your job research and you getting the job. And then Elena, she just discussed, the security behind all the hashes and things like that. So today I'm gonna be discussing access control. And, we all know what access control is. So basically, access control is, the process of getting, when you get access to a system. So you have to get like some kind of form documentation to prove that you are who you are in order to access whatever system that you're trying to access. So my presentation mostly will be about, the animation of access control. And, we have like 3 types of access control. We have physical, and we have administrative, and we also have technical. And the animation I'll be showing you guys will be describing the access control from physical, logical, technical, and all that. So first, once you gain access, once you get access into this, like after you complete all your forms, because usually when you start your job, you have to complete some kind of form to prove your background, and you have to give them your identification and things like that, so they can give you access into their building. So once you do that, you get your access card. And usually you can use either, via facial recognition, or you also get like an actual key card or your touch screen as well. So you enter into your workplace building, swipe your card to get access into the system. To get access into the building, to the elevator. You get into work. So this is your fingerprint access. And you input that information, you put your fingerprint and then your code. And, for logical and physical access, they do have a camera around to make sure that the person that is accessing the information also is the person that they provide the access to. So once, they authenticate you, you get access into the system. And then it also gets recorded. So when later on, when they do have, they have audit and things like that, they're able to prove that the person that was accessing the system is who they say they are, and they don't have any kind of intrusion or somebody trying to, hijack into the building. So this is where somebody's trying to hijack into the building at night. Then they get a security alarm system that's sent to the management. Management notifies, and they let you know that somebody's trying to access that does not have access to the building. And next thing they'll usually get prevent the person from accessing the system. So either the police or security will come and try to escort the person out. And that's pretty much it for my presentation. And thank you so much for watching. Next, we'll have Naalpahtu Toure that will be presenting.
Again, my name is Naalpahtu Toure. I graduated with a master's in business administration and master's in cybersecurity from UMGC. I was inducted in the 2018 Epsilon chapter of the International Honor Society for Computer Information Disciplines. As a member of Cybersecurity Divas, I have been a speaker in conferences like the 2019 Phoenix TS Cyberforce Conference and a guest at the Tech and Main podcast. I am also, for the first time, a winner of the Black in Cybersecurity Capture the Flag competition. And for that reason, I volunteered to be a mentor at the Stevenson Ethical Hacking team. I grew up in Sierra Leone, West Africa. And one of the reasons why I study cybersecurity is the lack of security and awareness in African countries, especially my country, Sierra Leone. And today, I created a fun game, which is a Wheel of Fortune, in order to explain the cybersecurity gaps in African countries. I did this Wheel of Fortune by myself and with the help of a YouTube video. You can also do a lot of games like the Jeopardy, but I decided to use Wheel of Fortune because I am good at it and I love it. So these are all the gaps in cybersecurity. When I click on the wheel, what I chose was the lack of cyber awareness. There is a vast gap. There's a vast gap of cyber awareness in African countries, especially my country. People tend to think that cybersecurity, hacking, and all the rest of these things happen only in America or Western world. They don't know that cybersecurity can happen anywhere. So again, when I click, you can see cyberbully. There's a lot of cyberbully going on in my country. Like for instance, last week, there was a video going around, a picture of somebody who they were bullied. She was actually fat, but she didn't even give consent to share those pictures. And my country don't have awareness about cyberbullying. And in order for them to have all these in control, the stakeholders, the government, the businesses, the private sector, the public sector needs to come together and create a cybersecurity policy. And in order to do that, I have created a 4 initiative that the government and every stakeholder should come together, because cybersecurity is not, it's a collaboration of everybody. And these are all the 4 initiatives that I develop, and I think the government and all stakeholders should come together and develop. And all these, I did it through a Wheel of Fortune game for it to be more fun and educative. And when I click at this today, one of the initiatives that the government should implement is the cyber resilience strategies. The government should also develop a cybersecurity. The government should also develop or implement cybersecurity skills. There's a great gap in cybersecurity skills. Even in America, we hear that there's a gap in cybersecurity skills, and people do have a degree in cybersecurity, but we don't see any jobs. There are no jobs out there. That's my presentation. So I'm gonna hand you over to Tomiko to give you the rap side of cybersecurity. Thank you, everyone.
The Cybersecurity Divas. And now it's just me. Who am I? I'm the T on my K on the last name with the E. They call me the Cyber Rapper, you see. Why? Because I love to write poetry. call it spoken words, but I like mine with a snazzy beat. It sets the tone, and that is key. Cybersecurity has been around for quite some years. This involved people, policy, technology, in hopes of perpetual improvement where there's no fears. Adversaries are using countless attacks, DDoS, phishing, malware, and other counteracts. Confidentiality, integrity, and availability has reached a level of concern. If nothing is done, do you think we'll learn? Companies are lacking the employees with the knowledge, the skill, and the ability to put people in a position of cybersecurity. So what really needs to be done about closing this gap? Organizations need to use people as an asset. And companies can close this problem shut. And organizations will not be in this rut. Open your eyes, dear people. Don't let this become a continuous sequel. Level up. And I don't mean dance. Concerns like this doesn't give skilled people a chance. C-suite, take a peek to what's really going on. The stats, the research, the board needs to. Encouraging more women in training is well overdue. Come on, don't act like it's brand new. Other than that, you tell me what's wrong. Don't start playing this no budget song.
Please listen carefully.
The moral to this poem is to invest in your people. They have certs, degrees, they're sure enough teachable. Let's come together and be strong. Build cybersecurity community like you belong. Cybersecurity. Cybersecurity community, we got issues.
Well, I didn't see that coming.
You see, cybersecurity needs to be fun. Don't you agree? From acting like you're on a basketball court, comic strip, animation, cryptography, cyber gamification. You want to capture the audience attention, like the Cyber Divas did, I must mention. You want to hold them in suspense from beginning to the bitter end, so the information can marinate within. So let me bring it all together so everyone can understand what we should do. And it won't be so boring to the next generation. So we all can have a clue. Training is what we need for all to succeed. I don't think you hear me though. Training is what we need for all to succeed. But it needs to be fun. Agree? Let me set the tone again so you can plainly see. Day of hacking, we need to train our peeps. Cyber awareness training, password complexity, penetration testing, social engineering, threats and vulnerabilities, many fish are spearing. I'm just saying, botnets are spreading, risk management, cyber policies, NIST and ISOs, HIPAA don't you know, Don't forget the dumpster that the one that stole your PII. Ransomware, what to do? Many pay without a clue. Training is needed. People don't see it. I don't understand it. Hacktivists and street kitties are on the rise. Don't forget the nation state and organized crime. In addition, competition. Insiders are on a mission. Huffing the puff like dog and heat. Instead of hacking, we need to train our peeps. And that's what we need to do. Thank you.
That was awesome. Don't you think so, everybody? Make some noise. Feel free to unmute yourself.
Oh, yeah.
That was the Cybersecurity Divas showing you
Great
a
job.
wide range of ways to make teaching this amazing discipline fun, combining your passion with sports, comics, humor, math, leadership, whatever, animation, gamification, it doesn't matter. Sports, oh my God. And then, of course, music, sound, all of those things. So this is what the Cybersecurity Divas is all about. And we've been coaching and learning together for several years now to try to put this together, because our goal is to make cybersecurity conferences fun. We don't want anybody reading from slides. We don't want people to leave their attitude at home and make a boring presentation by reading from their slides. No, we want you to bring your attitude. You have that inner greatness. We want you to bring it out. And now we will go to the networking hour, and I'm going to stop the recording. And I thank you very much, every cybersecurity diva. I thought you all did an amazing job. And as your coach and mentor, I am more proud than I could ever be.